Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Very happy to be back with all of you. We'll start with prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyate Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam panghum langayate girim yatkripatamaham vande paramananda madhavam Shri Chaitanyamishwaram Shri Gurum Dinatarinam. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you so much for coming to participate in today's Srimad Bhagavatam discussion. So we are continuing the series of discussion that we have started, Daily Divine Discussions. We are discussing 1.2.3 Srimad Bhagavatam Part 2. So this is something that we discussed last time. A quick recap for those of you who are joining us. Okay. So we saw how Srila Sukadeva Goswami, this particular verse, 1.2.3, this is something like telling everything about the Srimad Bhagavatam. All about Bhagavatam, you get it to know it here. And you also understand that Sukadeva Goswami has assimilated everything by his experience. Yes, Swanubhavam, Akhila Shruti Saramekam. So this completes the summary or introduction of Srimad Bhagavatam. And then we saw what are the Vedas, what are the Vedanta Sutras, right? And what are the different commentaries on Vedanta Sutras which different personalities have done, and they've come up with a philosophy. But Srimad Bhagavatam is a natural commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. So we saw that. Okay, so this much we saw. Right. Okay. So we also briefly discussed about the 6 systems of philosophy. And now we go ahead with the discussion of the purport. This one particular, the line 2, this is the second line. Usually there are 4, we have 4 charanas. These are called as charanas. But usually this is line 1 and this is the second line. So it has 2 lines. Shlokas have 2 lines. So samsarinam karunayaha. Yes. So now that particular part is elaborated by Srila Prabhupada here. So we are continuing the discussion from Srila Prabhupada's purport. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So before proceeding ahead, I just wanted to check with all of you if my voice is clear and audible. Are you all able to hear me clearly? Great. Okay. And also requesting you, I'm not able to see all of you clearly. So if you all could turn on your videos, I'll be able to see all of you. You're able to hear me and see me clearly. I also want to have a likewise experience. Okay. And just to show his boundless mercy, yes, upon bewildered materialistic men. Wow. This is the target audience. Yes, bewildered materialistic men who want to cross completely over nescience. He recited for the first time this confidential knowledge. Okay. We have some things to discuss here. Number 1, usually bewildered materialistic men do not want to cross completely over nescience. Obviously, right? Which bewildered men? Now, if you go to a random lot of people, yes, we go to a random lot of people, we make an announcement over the mic. How many of you would like to go back to Godhead? How many will raise their hands? How many of them will feel like going back to Godhead? Not here. Random guys out there. People will be confused. Who is this guy? This fellow is mad or what? Is this guy mad? Is he nuts? That's what people will say. I'm not asking about devotees, Sachidanand Prabhu. I'm asking about random announcement in public. Even Srila Prabhupada, when he wrote a letter to the first president of India, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, He writes, please do not consider me a madman. He clarifies, do not consider me a madman when I speak that I've found out the way to go back home, back to God. Yeah. So somebody reads that for the first time, his fuse will be blown completely. So you're finding here, right? It is not that bewildered materialistic men want to cross. They don't have. But so this is speaking about all of us actually. Because we want to cross, but yet we are not able to give up Maya. Yes, that's the struggle. We have desire to serve Krishna. We have desire to become pure devotees, but we are not able to give up Maya. So these are the people who need compassion. Yes. Materialistic person, no, they are not bothered. Right? So these people want to cross completely over the Nisayans. So he was very interested in those people having even the slightest desire, but at the same time, they need lots of mercy. Well, do not worry. Even if you have a little desire, we are willing to give you the rest of the mercy. So the first time he recited this confidential knowledge. If you see Srimad Bhagavatam, how did it start? Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken by Lord Krishna to Brahma. There was no audience. Yes, the entire verse was spoken. All the 18,000 verses were spoken, and then Krishna summarized in the 4 verses. Then this came down in Parampara. Brahma to Narada, Narada to Vyasa. Vyasa then taught it to Shuka. So if you see all these things, this parampara, this chain, right? So in that particular chain, there was only teacher and student, teacher and student, teacher and student, teacher and student. There was no public speaking of Srimad Bhagavatam. Yes, Shiva would give Bhagavatam classes in public. The 4 Kumaras would give Bhagavatam classes in public. Yes, in the Janalok. Janalok, the main speakers are the 4 Kumaras. One of them would be chosen and they would speak. But they wouldn't recite the entire treatise of Srimad Bhagavatam, that 18,000 sloka literature. They would probably speak one section of it. Yes. And some parts of the section are also included in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the 18,000 verses which Padma Purana talks about. We have that section. But this was the first time ever in public the entire Srimad Bhagavatam was recited. That not one portion, not a particular part, but that Bhagavatam with 18,000 verses. That's how Padma Puran describes. 12 cantos, 18,000 verses, which contains the pastimes of Ambarish, Vritrasur. That's the description given in the Puranas for Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? Okay. So that is why it said it's recited something for the first time. This confidential knowledge. Usually, how is confidential knowledge given? Confidential knowledge is given with restricted entry. Oh, please make somebody stand at the gate. Jai Vijay will be there at the gate. Jai Vijay Prabhu, please filter out. Only those guys who are qualified, they enter into the class. Others, no, not allowed. But when the most confidential is given publicly, absolutely free of cost, that is called as boundless mercy. Why is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called as Namo Mahavadanyaya? Supremely merciful. Why? Why is he called so? Because what is the topmost thing available? The topmost thing available is Krishna Prema in the mood of the gopis, Gopi Bhav. And who's the audience he's dealing with? This is the topmost. And who's the audience that he deals with? He's dealing with the audience who are least qualified. The people of Kali Yuga, who have failed the Satya, Treta, Dwapar, the 3 yugas, they have miserably failed. So here is your audience, and this is what you want to, this is the product that you want to deliver. So to the least qualified people, you want to give the topmost thing. What does this require? This requires supreme compassion. This is called as compassion. Usually, we all want very good audience. If you're a teacher of Bhagavatam, you will want your audience to be attentive. You want your audience to be switching on the camera. You want your audience to be taking notes. You want your audience to be participating. When there's a question that is shot up by the speaker, we want everybody, whoever is present in the room, everybody cut, 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 cut. Use all the different answers. They don't exit the room before the class ends. Even the question answers, they wait. Everybody has a question to ask. That's the audience we all aspire for. Nobody wants audience who are absolutely not interested. As soon as the Bhagavatam class starts, they go off to sleep. As soon as the Srimad Bhagavatam class starts, they pull out their phone and they do something else. Bhagavatam, his class is there, they don't want to come. Srimad, despite repeated reminders with phone calls, Prabhu, please come for Bhagavatam today. Yes, yes, I will come. Cut. And that person never comes. We don't want such an audience. We want audience who are like, even if there is no information put in the Zoom group, there's no reminder, still people come for the class. That's the kind of audience everybody wants. But here Shukadev Goswami is trying to give a product of the Srimad Bhagavatam, the most confidential knowledge to whom? He's giving this most confidential knowledge to just personalities who are very fallen, the Kali Yugas, the materialistic men, but they have some desire to cross completely over sides. Bewildered materialistic men. This is the audience. Wow. So that is Srimad Bhagavatam. There is no point in arguing that a materialistic man can be happy. Hare Krishna. No materialistic creature, be he the great Brahma or an insignificant ant, can be happy. It is not possible. If somebody is saying, if somebody goes to doctor and the doctor usually asks a question, so how are you? People say, okay, I'm fine. Because that's how you're trained. You're trained up in your upbringing. Somebody says, how are you? Respond, I'm fine. So if you're fine, then why have you come to doctor? If you're fine, why do you want to visit a doctor? Similarly, if we say we are happy, what are we doing in the material world? Because this material world is an abode of misery. Dukkhalayam. This is the reality. The reality of this material world is this is Dukkhalayam. So no matter how much a person, of course, there is happiness. The happiness is compared to a very wonderful bowl of sweet rice. Wow. There is sweet rice. But along with sweet rice, there is also sufficient amount of stone particles which are mixed in the sweet rice. Stone, sand, everything is mixed. So can somebody enjoy a sweet rice where there is stone and sand mixed? That's the offer you get in the material world. The only offer you have in this material world is stone mixed with sweet rice. You don't have that filtered. The filtered sweet rice, sorry, that is not available. That's not available. So once there was His Holiness Jayadvaita Swami Maharaj. He was in India. And there was this Indian gentleman who went up to Jayadvaita Maharaj and he was like, what are you doing here? We are all working so hard and trying our best to come to your country. We want to come there and enjoy sense gratification. What are you doing in our country? He gave a very simple answer. Sense gratification program doesn't work. That's it. He is known for his one-line punches. This program is never going to work, no matter how hard you try. I give an analogy of this cake experiment. Okay. Now somebody is given a very beautiful cake, but there is absolutely no sugar in the cake. How will it taste? Oh, it doesn't taste good. So now what I will do is I'll cut the cake from the corner, have it. Not good. All right, I made a mistake. I think I cut the wrong corner. I'll go to the other corner and cut the cake. Still not good. Wait a minute. I think I'm sitting and eating. That's the problem. Let me stand up and eat the cake. Will that make a difference? I think I should not stand and eat the cake. I'm supposed to run and eat the cake. So while running, I eat the cake. Does it make a difference? No, 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 no. I think I should go to the top of the roof and jump from there while eating the cake. Probably that will give me pleasure. No matter what we do, it doesn't matter the way we eat the cake. If there is no presence of sugar, the cake is not going to be tasty, right? So similarly, the sense gratification doesn't contain Krishna because it's Krishna which or who gives the fulfillment to the soul. And when there is no experience of Krishna, the soul is not satisfied despite trying many times. So sense gratification, another analogy that is given is a person. Now he has to jump from the top. I'm going to jump from the top. And what happens? He breaks his hand. He says, I think I did not jump properly. Let me try jumping other way. No matter how you're going to jump, you're going to break something or the other. So that is what is sense gratification. We do it, we're going to break something. Something's going to go off. So if somebody says one is happy in this world, there are only two options. Either that person is a pure devotee of Lord, which is very less likely, or the second option is this person is bluffing, or he's insane, he's mad, he's gone nuts. So Prabhupada and even Shastra say only two kinds of people can be happy in this world. One who has gone nuts, and second is a pure devotee. So why one is not happy? Everyone tries to make a permanent plan for happiness. Okay, let me have permanent home. Yes, we have permanent residence, PR. Call it PR. Yes, permanent home, permanent residence, permanent family. Yes, permanent bank balance. But which of this is permanent? Please tell me. Business. Nothing, none of these things are permanent, right? So our very plan making for a permanent, and even life is not permanent. Nothing is permanent. Then how can we make plan for permanent? Our plans are going to fail. Yes, everyone is baffled by the laws of material nature. You make permanent plan. And then there are the scientists. What are the scientists trying to do? The group of scientists are wanting to create some medicine or some technology by which we can have permanent life. We don't have to die. Speaking of death, although the scientists, the biomedical field is coming up with so many different varieties of medicines, but with invention of each medicine, even the diseases are growing. Every year we have come up with new medicine. Okay, but there are 10 more diseases that are growing. Different types of diseases are increasing. So each time we come up with, see, usually what happens, there is a problem. What is the real problem? Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi. These are the real problems. B for birth, O for old age, D for disease, and Y for Yamraj, death. You can remember this acronym body. So these are the real problems. But not focusing on solving these real problems, people invent other problems. They invent and they keep solving their own problems. Oh, we have to walk so much. Let's make our life comfortable. Okay, so we'll create a solution. Let's have a car. So this fellow is going to sit and go in a car. But what the car is going to do, the car is going to let out smoke, right? Carbon monoxide, a very dangerous gas. So the solution to this problem, they think walking is a problem. No, walking is not a problem. Walking is great, in fact. There was a quiz which said what kills a person? A was alcohol, B was junk food, yes, C was drugs, and D was chair. You know what kills a person out of these four options? Either alcohol. Yes, it's a chair that kills a person because we are not meant to sit in one place. We are meant to be walking. We are meant to be moving, right? It is said that Japan, right? Japan has the highest life expectancy because those people walk a lot. They make them walk. Even if they're in the cities, they're made to walk a lot. But we sit in a place which we are not meant to be. So what this person has done, what have we done? We have actually created problems, many problems. Therefore, the materialistic world is called the darkest region of God's creation. There's a reason for this also. There is a reason. See, the spiritual world is a luminous world. It's something which is the three-fourth of the creation. And Krishna's bodily hue, or we can say the radiance of Krishna, is called as Brahma Jyoti. Yes, that's pervading all over the Vaikuntha Loka. So it's the one-fourth of the creation is the material world. And here Mahavishnu, he breeds and creates many universes. Correct? And this universe is a locked place. It's locked up. Okay. Is there any light inside a coconut? Yes or no? No, there is no light inside a coconut. That's not possible. So similarly, this material world, this material universe is like that coconut, that shell. Inside, there is no light. There's absolutely no light inside. That's why it's called a dark world. And not just dark. It is not dark just for this. The darkness is mainly because of ignorance. Om Ajnana Timira Andhasya. Darkness because of ignorance, avidya, nescience. So our scriptures always give this analogy of darkness to Maya and brightness to Krishna. So it is dark because everybody, not just because it's airtight, it's sealed. That's one reason, of course. But a bigger reason is because of ignorance. Yet the unhappy materialist can get out of it simply by desiring. Yes, this is the first step. Desire. Desire. How have you achieved anything in your life? What is the first step? Desire. Oh, how? What about Srimad Bhagavatam class? Oh, Prabhuji, how do we learn Bhagavatam? First, we should have desire to come to class. We should have desire to purchase the Srimad Bhagavatam. We should have desire to read. So that is the first step. First step is the desire. Correct? So even to get out of this, how did we come to this material world? Desire. So how are we going to get out of it? Same desire. So there's desire. So what Srimad Bhagavatam or these classes creating? In one sense, the Bhagavad Gita says, Sangat Sanjayate Kama. The kind of association we keep, that type of desires will develop. Association and desires are directly proportional. Our materialistic desires are growing and increasing. Very well. Yeah, true. That is because we are having materialistic association. Our spiritual desires are growing. Why? Oh, that means we're having spiritual association. Our desire for enjoyment is increasing. Then we're associating with sense gratifiers. Yes. Any example of how association, it either creates, sparked a desire or killed a desire to serve Krishna? Any examples? Let me see. Yes. Okay. I didn't want yes. I wanted examples. I'll give you a powerful example. There's an example of Kaikai and Mantra in Ramayana. We hear the story? Kaikai had a desire, pure desire to serve Lord Ram, and she understood Ram is going to be the king. Although she was a stepmother, she was so happy she took all her jewelry and gave it to Mantra, who gave her the news. Mantra took the jewelry and put it on the ground. She said, "What has happened to you, foolish lady? Don't you understand what's going on? See, Dasharath has played you. He was supposed to, if you are called his favorite queen, then he should have coronated your son." She said, "That's okay, but Ram considers me as his mother more than he considers his own mother, Kaushalya." Say, that is all simply sentiments. This will all change. When Rama becomes the king, then who shall be the Rajmata or the lady? The first lady, what do you call it? First lady is usually the wife, but anyways, your Rajmata had a lot of powers. She had a lot of powers. It will be Kaushalya, and you will nothing be but be a slave. So like that, she poisoned the mind of Kaikeyi. As a result, Kaikeyi went to that sulking chamber and she started crying and all that. We know the episodes that happened. Okay. And then there was Mrigari Association of Narada. This is an amazing example of how bhakti is sparked in a person who was a sadistic, cruel hunter. He was not killing animals. He was half killing them and getting pleasure, seeing them suffer. Such a cruel-hearted person is to half kill animals. Can you imagine? Half killing animals and his pleasure was seeing that animals suffer. It's very good. Suffer more. I get pleasure. Draupadi at the card game, at the gambling. It was a game of dice. It was not cards gambling, it was a dice gambling. What happened to her? Of course, she was, uh, in one sense, it's a very brilliant example. I can say this is one of the very brilliant examples because Pandavas, who were they? They were associates of, they were associates of Krishna. We can see positive and negative both here. They were associates of Krishna, and despite being associates of Krishna, such pure devotees, because they came in contact with that gambling activity association, their intelligence was lost at that time. This is the only episode where Pandavas were not Krishna conscious. No, they weren't. And Krishna was very upset with the Pandavas. Just this episode. Otherwise, oh, Pandavas were very exemplary. The association with that gambling, that sinful activity, can make us forget Dharma. Draupadi, she called out for Krishna, correct? She had that intelligence. Hey Krishna, hey Yadav, hey Dwarka Vasin, hey Gopi Janavallabha. These are the names she called out. And Krishna was having his lunch. He left his lunch and he came. It was that. Nice. Okay. Unfortunately, they are so foolish that they do not want to escape. Therefore, they are compared to camel who relishes thorny twigs because he likes the taste of the twigs mixed with blood. He does not realize that it is his own blood and that his tongue is being cut by thorns. Similarly to the materialist, his own blood is as sweet as honey. And although he is always harassed by his own material creations, he does not wish to escape. Such materialistic men are called as karmis. So this is a very powerful analogy, I can say, this camel. Camel is a foolish animal. He's compared to as good as ass in Shastra. There's a lecture, beautiful lecture. Dogs, hogs, camels, and asses. Shvavid varaho hushtrakaraihi samstuta purusha pashuhu nayatra karanapato peto jatu namagadagraja. The materialistic people are compared to these four animals. There's no time. We'll come to this verse when we discuss the second canto. This very powerful verse comes. But why camel? Now, this analogy is very important to understand. Camel is an animal who is in the desert. And usually in the deserts, we find the cactus. And cactus are not sweet plants, they're very thorny plants. So when a camel eats a cactus, what happens? He eats immediately the thorns, they prick his gums, his cheeks, his tongue, everywhere. And as soon as they all get pricked, what will come out? Blood comes out. And this camel foolishly thinks, oh my God, this is a very, very tasty plant. This is a very tasty plant and I'm eating it. More I eat, the more juice is coming out. Hot juice. Amazing. And thus he eats foolishly without even knowing that it is his blood that he is enjoying. Right? Similarly, the camel's enjoyment actually is the sex life, where a person is so called enjoying at the cost of wasting his own semen, which is the pure blood, which is the pure blood. And that's why materialist here is compared to a camel. It's a very heavy analogy. Yes, what is his blood as sweet as honey? That's the semen, right? So that's they are called as materialistic people, karmis, attached to sex life. Out of hundreds of thousands of karmis, only a few may feel tired of material engagement and desire to get out of this labyrinth. And such intelligent persons are called jnanis. Yes, these people come to Krishna consciousness. There are two kinds of people usually who come to Krishna consciousness. Of course, Krishna says four: Artho, Artharthi, Jignasu, and Jnani. This is Bhagavad Gita 7.16. So, Artho is a person in distress. He has big tragedy in life, some family problem, some financial problem, because of which this person has come to God to get rid of his problem. And usually, when the problem is solved, he may go back. Artharthi, such a person has understood that, oh, God is Lakshmipati. Krishna is Lakshmipati. He is the master of the goddess of fortune. So, if there may be a good possibility that if I go and worship Lord, I'll get a lot of wealth in return. So they go. And as soon as the wealth comes, they forget Krishna. They only come when they have the next financial crisis. Then there is Jignasu. This person has some inquiries, some queries. Yes. They may not be directly Krishna conscious. He may inquire something like, why you guys are wearing this? What is this? Why you guys are wearing bed sheet? Why you have this particular thing on top of your head? All these things he inquires, and when his inquiries are there satisfied, he may also leave. But out of them, Jnani is the best. Why? Because this person has understood that sense gratification plan doesn't work. And such a person can take to devotional service who's tired of sense gratification. Mother Devahuti, she also tells Kardama, she tells to Kapila Muni very clearly that Nirvinna Nitaro Bhuman Asad Indriya Tarshadan. She tells very clearly that I am frustrated with sense enjoyment. Because just before that, if you see what kind of enjoyment Mother Devahuti had, she was enjoying in an aerial mansion which Kardama Muni had created. So much opulence that the most opulent person at that point of time was Swayambhuva Manu. He was ashamed. She was a princess and the daughter of Swayambhuva Manu. And he was ashamed. Come on, even I could not give such facilities to my daughter, Devahuti. But just look at Kardama Muni, a sage, a brahmachari. He has so much of power. He gave so much of opulence to my daughter. She was ashamed seeing the opulence of an aerial mansion. We just read that, we will be spellbound. And she experienced that, but that experience of that kind of happiness also brings frustration. There was no happiness there. That's what she clarifies and she admits. There is no happiness even with such kind of standard. Yes, it is nothing but frustration. The Vedanta Sutra is directed to such jnanis. But Srila Vyasadeva, being an incarnation of the Supreme Lord, could foresee the misuse of Vedanta Sutra by unscrupulous men, and therefore he personally supplemented the Vedanta Sutra with Bhagavad Puran. Got it? Even I had told in the previous discussion here also. Vedanta Sutra is very good. It gives very summary. But what is the problem? The problem is people speculate on it. That is the problem. People speculate. I told you here also, right? And because of speculation, there are various theories that come out. So Vyasadeva could understand these fellows, Gyanis, Although they'll come to the Vedanta Sutra, but they will speculate about it. And in order to prevent such speculation, he said, I will only give a commentary. I'll give a commentary on the Bhagavatam, on the Vedanta Sutra, which is called as Bhagavad Purana. So if you actually analyze and see Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur very beautifully, he writes in his commentary very beautifully, taking out different statements from different how this statement of Bhagavatam, this statement of Bhagavatam is actually Vedanta Sutra. It comes from this sutra. This line of Bhagavatam, this is from this Vedanta Sutra. Satyam Param Dhimai. Okay, this is from this sutra. So he is a very nicely telling and how Bhagavatam has covered all the Vedanta Sutras very beautifully. That's what is shown by Vedavyas. Okay. I think we'll pause here. We have to continue. Tomorrow we'll definitely complete this. Any questions? We pause here and we open for questions. Rinku Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. So my question is that...
Please ask your question.
Can you hear me, Prabhuji?
Can you hear Rinku Mataji?
I can hear you, Prabhuji.
Oh, I'm
can
not
you
able to
hear
hear
me?
her. Wait 1 minute. Huh? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Okay. I'm so sorry. I'm not able to hear her.
I can hear you well, Prabhuji.
Okay, I'm not able to hear any of you. Can someone speak? Unmute and speak. You can hear me, but I'm not able to hear you.
Hare Krishna, Hare
No,
Krishna.
I'm not able to hear. There's something turned off. I'm so sorry, devotees. You may have to put your questions in the chat. Really sorry, because I'm not able to hear. I'll do the needful correction for next so that we don't face this next time. Sorry. Even if I unmute you, still I can't hear you. I'm not able to hear. Okay, you can speak. Somebody can type. Meanwhile, I'll answer the typed question.
Can you
Rishikesh
hear
Prabhu,
me now?
if we know we are like camels, how to grow out of it? Yes. Lord Krishna tells in the Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter, verse number 59, Vishya vinivartante niraharasya dehinah rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. We have to develop that higher taste. And in order to develop that higher taste, it's very important that we give up the lower taste. And that lower taste we have to starve that lower taste. So that's our responsibility. And we cannot starve that lower taste without getting a higher taste. The only way to get rid of that karma is nama. If one is, I'm seriously telling, one is sincerely chanting the 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra in the morning hours, one will have a very good consciousness. It will happen. The problem is we are not chanting 16 rounds properly. Some of us are not even chanting 16 rounds, although we are about to chant 16 rounds. We skip many beads. We don't recite the Maha Mantra properly. We don't do it in the morning. Many things. But if this is done, definitely somebody is chanting 16 rounds attentively, properly, will be able to overcome this particular tendency of this camel. We have to do that. That's the only hope. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam. Only. Can someone type Rinku Ravalji's question?
Yes,
Rinku Mataji,
How
why
does
don't
Srila
you...
Sukadev know who is sincere to get us out of material existence? One who desires. One who has the desire. Because one person who has the desire will come to Bhagavata. So that's how he knows. Thank you. Prabhupada, does our belief system and conditioning that we have been carrying for many lifetimes changes when we come to Krishna consciousness? Yes. To the degree we sincerely associate. How did Kaikeyi's belief system change? Because she associated mindlessly with mantra. But we have to mindfully associate devotees. With devotees, we have to associate mindfully, not mindlessly. Bad association, you can be mindless. Yeah. On the other hand, the good association, we have to be mindful. Yes. How to be mindful? Be attentive as far as possible when we are receiving instructions, when we are receiving the blessings, we are receiving the lecture. Be attentive. Be attentive in dealings. Mind is very flickery, but try. Try. We have to try. We cannot give excuse every time mind is flickering. Bring it back. That's what Krishna says. We have to try. This game, this is called sadhana, fixing one's mind. We have to keep trying. Okay? Krishna knows these who are sincere. Yes, he knows. He knows. But the sincerity is not shown by just intent. Sincerity is shown with intent and actions, both. Yeah. Oh, I really want to attend Bhagavatam class. I want Krishna Prem, but I'll not come to Bhagavatam class. I want Krishna Prem, but I'll not chant. I want Krishna Prem in intent. Really, really, but I'll not come to temple. Oh, this intention is useless. Yes. The real intention should be followed with proper action. Then that brings success. Thank you all very much. I'll just sort this out, this issue of the voice. We'll do that. But nevertheless, thank you all so much for coming and giving me your association. And I couldn't hear the questions, but nevertheless, you asked questions over the chat. No, there's no Bluetooth device connected, Prabhu. I checked that. But thank you. Thank you so much. Nevertheless, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Samasta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Gaur Premanande.